Yo, Paul Scowen inviting you to make us your backup plan to better health. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police splatter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, as well as Connexus, offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click the icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more. The Clinton School District is continuing its progress on a long-discussed plan to consolidate its elementary grade levels. Superintendent Drew Goebel says the current system, which has been in place for over a decade, splits preschool, kindergarten, and first grade students between two different campuses. The district is continuing to move forward to bring pre-K into one building and K through first grade into another.
For over a decade, all of the preschool, kindergarten, and first grade students have been split up. Half the kids are at Lincoln School over there behind Mach 1, and the other half of the kids are at Douglas School, kind of north of the YMCA. As a result, we have one principal that literally bounces back and forth between those two schools and does not have an assistant principal. So if there is a need at Douglas, but the principal is at Lincoln, that support is not in place. And I think a key part of my job as the superintendent is to make sure teachers and students are supported. When you essentially have divided up your resources and split things up, I think it makes it extremely difficult. And so this is not a new concept for Clinton. We've been discussing this for many years. I chose as the superintendent to bite the bullet.
To prepare for the transition, renovations are already underway at Lincoln School. Goebel says the district is utilizing its own maintenance staff to remodel the library to create more classroom space while keeping costs down.
Now we're into the stages of moving, how that's going to look, how we're going to box things up. The library in Lincoln School, we are having to do a renovation of the library to make better use of the space. There's different little changes that we've had to do to make that adjustment. Nothing out of this world. We are putting a wall in the library to create another room. And so, and it's I'm trying to think of like the percentage. So it's not like a right down the middle. We're shaving off a small portion. But I'll say this, our librarian, Carrie Ray Kaczynski, she's been working her tail off and been an excellent team player in redesigning and in helping with that renovation. We've been fortunate, even our maintenance crew, Ryan Black and Jeff Harold, they are able to do a lot of that renovations in-house. We don't have to hire a contractor to come in. These guys can do plumbing, electrical, drywall. I mean, you name it, those guys, they're like Tim the Tool Man. But besides that, I look forward to even, having an assistant principal there. We'll have two administrators in the building because let's just say the principal is at a conference. We will still have an administrator to help out if there's a situation. Currently, that does not exist.
Under the new plan, Douglas School will house all preschool students, while Lincoln School will host the kindergarten and first grade classes. Goebel says a major benefit of the move is the addition of an assistant principal, ensuring an administrator is always on site.
The addition of an assistant principal is another staffing need. That's not a new request. that request to have an assistant principal has been asked for years and years.
Mhm.
Now, I would not be in favor of just adding an assistant principal, but not restructuring so the assistant principal can then bounce back and forth between the two schools. I don't think that's the best plan. But when we combine, and to be clear, the preschool will be at Douglas.
Mhm.
So kindergarten and first grade will be at Lincoln School.
Mhm.
And that's where the principal will be at most of the time.
Mhm.
And then the assistant principal will be at Lincoln School most of the time.
Okay.
And we will also, in terms of like student needs, right now we have, we call it an SEL, an employee, social emotional learning,
Mhm.
works with kids on social skills and just different things and emotional needs.
Mhm.
That person right now bounces back and forth.
The restructuring is expected to streamline resources and provide more consistent social emotional support for students across both buildings. Coming up shortly on this expanded newscast, Monticello Police Department introducing new program for those with neurodivergent challenges. FFA chapters around the country are spending this week celebrating and promoting the program. Heyworth FFA President Emma Quinton explains that last Friday was spent decorating the school in preparation for a week of dress-up days and activities that promote the chapter. They are encouraging all students to participate, not just those in FFA.
It's doing good. We spent most of Friday decorating our school, making it look with all blue and gold with FFA pride. We started out the morning with dress-up days. Everybody's wearing their chapter t-shirts, and we have morning trivia going on and raffle tickets for participation. So yeah, we're encouraging everybody to dress up. We have a couple dress-up days. Today was our chapter t-shirt. Tomorrow is gone hunting, so everybody's supposed to wear their camo. Wednesday's country versus country club. Thursday's station by the flag, so everybody's going to wear all their American gear. And then Friday is unofficial dress, so wearing the jacket, but not full official dress. And so we're really encouraging everybody to dress up and participate with the rest of the FFA and celebrate the week.
Morning trivia and raffle tickets are a highlight of the celebration at Heyworth this year. Jolie Maharis, chapter vice president, explains that students who dress up are greeted at the door by FFA members in the morning with a chance to win prizes.
Yes, we also are hiding ducks. So we have 5 ducks hidden around the school each day for students to find for a chance to win prizes. And then we have an assembly on Friday with state treasurer Cadence Wooten is coming to speak. And we have some fun games planned. And we also have a bingo day on Wednesday.
So every day when you walk into school, we have us and the rest of our officer team out at the front doors. And for the kids that dress up, we give them a raffle ticket, which will go into Friday's assembly when we draw our raffle ticket winner and they get a bucket with a bunch of different prizes in it. We have some like little snacky items. We have a Nido in here, Uno, a planner, and some pins. There is no price for the raffle ticket. It's just if you participate, you get entered for a chance to win that bucket.
Learn more about the Heyworth FFA chapter by finding them on Facebook. Keep it to the Heart Media Group in the days ahead for continued coverage of National FFA Week in Central Illinois. A Central Illinois Police Department is implementing a program that will soon be mandated by the state of Illinois. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, Monticello Police Chief Rob Bross told the Heart Media Group the Blue Envelope program was sparked by a collaboration between the life skills class at Monticello High School and school resource officer Deputy Lindsey Bross of the Piatt County Sheriff's Office. The program provides resources for neurodivergent drivers on how to handle traffic stops.
Yeah, so it started here a few months ago. The life skills class here at the high school got a hold of Deputy Bross, their school resource officer, and then she kind of looped me into it to kind of go over traffic stops with some of their students that were possibly on the spectrum, excuse me, the autism spectrum, and going over what should happen if you get pulled over, no one's out there to hurt anybody, but just processes to go through if in case you are stopped. So that started that ball rolling. We spent a little bit of time on that with some of their drivers. And then the state of Illinois came out with a blue envelope program, which is kind of an outreach for those that are on the spectrum. I think the proper term is neurodivergent drivers.
While the state of Illinois recently announced a similar statewide initiative, Chief Bross did not want to wait for the red tape to clear. He is moving forward now with a tangible tool, a bright blue envelope that identifies the driver as being on the autism spectrum to prevent any potential misunderstandings regarding their behavior.
They have an envelope that they can put maybe a license in, registration, insurance, important paperwork for that vehicle. And if they get pulled over for whatever, speeding, stop sign violation, something like that, then they have everything in this. It's a bright blue envelope, and it says on the front, the driver's on the autism spectrum, and it has tips for the officer and for the driver, because every now and then, if we walk up to a vehicle, someone's not looking at us. Maybe that they aren't making the eye contact. They seem maybe overstimulated with the flashing lights, especially if it's at night. Some of those can be clues for a driver on the spectrum, but it can also be, okay, is this driver trying to hide something? Is this driver maybe under the influence of something if there's a delayed response? So the envelope helps us identify, okay, this person's on the spectrum. We need to do certain things to not exacerbate the issue.
The envelope provides a roadmap for the officer on how to de-escalate a situation through specific tactical changes, such as turning off certain lights to prevent sensory overload. Chief Bross says they adapted the program locally by working with the Piatt County Mental Health Center.
Maybe we turn off our front-facing flashing lights. We give short directions, one at a time. Give me your driver's license, and then once we get that, give me your insurance card. Things along that. But it was a state program that they passed, I believe, the first of the year. However, seeing how the state of Illinois runs other programs, I didn't want to wait around 6 to 12 months while they figured something out. So we kind of looked around, and I reached out to Tony Kirkman with our mental health center, Piatt County Mental Health, and we came up with a few things that we would like to see on these blue envelopes. And we, for lack of a better term, begged, borrowed, and stole from other agencies. Usually these were north of I-80 that already have this program, and we just kind of adapted it to our needs here. So Tony's been a great resource for us and the staff there at the Piatt County Mental Health Center.
Residents interested in obtaining a blue envelope for themselves or a family member can contact the Monticello Police Department or speak with Deputy Bross at the high school. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
It's time to celebrate winter. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. Yes, we have extra savings on all new Chevrolets this month to celebrate the winter season. See our inventory of Chevrolet Trailblazers, Blazers, and the efficient Trax. We also have a good selection of our 7-passenger Chevrolet Traverse and Tahoes. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. See our winter celebration savings at BaumChevyBuick.com right from the start.
News time is 23 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. While the conversation often focuses on physical signs of abuse, a newer, more pervasive dynamic is taking center stage: technology. Andrea Coker with Willow Tree Missions in Piatt County says today's youth operate under the constant assumption that a camera is always on or that they are being watched. The digital reality has bled into the dating scene, where constant tracking by a partner has become a normalized yet dangerous tool for abuse.
Technology and DV, or technology and teen dating violence especially, is really all I know. I wasn't in the realm of DV before technology played a piece, but knowing what I know now in this world, it's huge. It's everywhere. The biggest thing is tracking. People, like your loved ones, are tracking you. It's just the reality. Young people right now don't even think about this. They just know. Like, oh yeah, they can see me. They know where we are. We teach our kids now to assume that there's a camera on, to assume that someone's watching, recording. Nothing that you do is private. Mm-hmm. On the flip side of that, kids are a lot more likely to share their location with people because it's so comfortable. So they kind of expect to give access and have access. Mm. And so it's so easy for these stalking personas to start taking place. And maybe it started out well-intended, but it quickly can go so different and really become more stalking behavior because people become obsessed with where their partner is. Mm-hmm. Because they see it all the time. It's constantly in their face. So then to take that away starts to take away control from that relationship also. Mm-hmm. And just like any other relationship, teen dating violence is also about control.
According to Coker, the Illinois Youth Survey data shows as early as 10th grade, youth in every Illinois county report being a victim of teen dating violence. In her work within Piatt County, technology is increasingly the primary weapon used for harassment.
I know, for instance, Piatt County, every county in the state of Illinois, does a youth survey every year that asks questions to 10th and 12th graders in every community, including in Piatt County, report that they have already experienced teen dating violence. So at 10th grade, they are likely to be 14, 15, 16 years old. They're reporting that they have already experienced it. So it's been before that. We don't have a lot of context on what they're reporting had taken place. There are definitely statistics that it's been physical already. Mm-hmm. I would assume the likelihood is that it's a lot of verbal with some physical, but I also could be really off base there. I have received calls for individuals who are not in high school yet, and it's been really geared toward technology. Really feel like they're being stalked or harassed online, sometimes by someone they've actually met, but more so by people they've never met, and they've gotten in over their head and want help.
A crucial lesson for many teens is that the internet-verse is forever. Coker warns that once private images or information is shared, they often become ammo used by an abuser to maintain power through threats of digital exposure.
Once something has made its way to the internet, it doesn't go away. Sharing anything of yourself or others with someone that you trust on Monday can absolutely turn around and stab you in the back on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So knowing that ahead of time is really important, gaining some of that knowledge of it is just best not to share. However, we absolutely see that people are sharing it. It's absolutely exploitation. And a lot of times it's used as a threat or a way to control or manipulate. Well, I have these pictures, so ultimately do what I say or do as I want you to, or else they'll go to XYZ. I'll distribute those to ruin your life. Especially, that would destroy anyone. That would destroy me. That would destroy anyone, but especially an underdeveloped brain that can't grasp the concept of going to their parents or going to the police and asking for help. Mm-hmm. And really, they'll do anything to try and maintain that relationship or do as they're instructed so that their life isn't ruined, because their world is so small. It feels like that will truly ruin them.
1 in 3 U.S. teens will experience physical, sexual, or emotional abuse from someone they're in a relationship with before becoming adults. And nearly half, 43%, of U.S. college women report experiencing violent or abusive dating behaviors. 1 in 10 high school students has experienced physical violence from a dating partner. 1 in 10 teens experienced sexual dating violence. Over 70% of women and 60% of men first experienced intimate partner violence under the age of 25, and 1 in 4 women first experienced intimate partner violence before the age of 18. If you or someone you know needs help, visit willowtreemissions.org, find them on Facebook, or call the agency in Monticello at 217-762-2350. Again, that number is 217-762-2350. Celebrating National FFA Week this week, former Illinois FFA Vice President Derek Sample is an ag education major at SIU Carbondale and is now student teaching.
Agriculture education was a major that I had considered coming out of high school, being involved in FFA. And then my experience as a state officer just really solidified that I wanted to teach ag. So I finished my degrees at Rend Lake College, transferred to Southern Illinois University Carbondale in the ag ed program down there. Again, got to meet some amazing people down there. And currently I'm student teaching at Wayne City under Mrs. Jennifer Earhart, and I absolutely love it there. It's awesome to be in the classroom every day and teaching, and it really shows me that I made the right choice in my decision.
Sample is from the Cesar-Villiers FFA chapter. He served as a major state officer during the 2022-2023 term. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com. That's DeWitt County's #1 source for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. Best of all, it's all free all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news is now.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The winter-weary Northeast is getting back on its feet following yesterday's record-setting snowfall that paralyzed parts of the region. Snow removal is well underway as utility crews work to restore power to tens of thousands of people. Rhode Island hit the snowfall jackpot, more than 3 feet on the ground in Providence. Widespread power outages do persist along with flight delays. All eyes will be on President Trump tonight when he delivers his State of the Union speech, offering him a big stage during a crucial midterm election year. Russia unleashed its military on Ukraine 4 years ago today. What some thought would be a quick and easy victory for the Russians has proven anything but. On Wall Street, Dow futures 115 points higher. The Nasdaq futures are up 87. S&P futures better by 10 points. More details, srnnews.com.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. In a game heard on WHOW and all its digital platforms, the Clinton Maroons defeated the Marshall Lions by a final score of 58-45 in a Class 2A regional quarterfinal matchup on Monday night in Clinton. The two teams started even, but as Clinton started to slip midway through the first quarter, Coach Vic Binkley subbed in 6'5" junior Briggs White, who came in for a flurry of blocks to stop a Marshall run. Clinton led 18-17 after the first, but the Lions evened it at 26 going into the halftime break. Keaton Graves scored all of the Maroons' 8 second quarter points. The Maroons came alive in the fourth, trailing 37-35 going into the final frame. They outscored Marshall 21-10 to seal the win. Graves led all scorers with 32 points for Clinton. Jaden Bell had 9 points, while Keegan Daughtery added 7. Garrett Pugh paced Marshall with 21 points, 11 of which came in the first quarter. Bryce Griggan added 8 points, and Brady Landris had 6. The Marshall Lions finished the season at 12-16. Clinton improves to 24-8 and will take on St. Joseph Ogden in St. Joe for the regional semifinal. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Hear all the action on WHOW and all its digital platforms. In a game heard on WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com, Monticello overcame a 14-point first-half deficit and beat Sullivan 58-53 in a Class 2A regional quarterfinal matchup on Monday in Monticello. Redskins senior James Feldkamp had 11 points in the first quarter, staking Sullivan to a 19-11 lead. Sullivan would extend its lead to 14 points in the second quarter. Monticello battled back to cut the deficit to 29-23 at the half. Aiden McCool had 8 of his 21 points in the third quarter to get Monticello back in the game. 5 straight points from Matthias Rudolph to open the fourth quarter put Monticello in front for good. McCool's 21 points earned him the State Bank of Bement Player of the Game. Jake Motzgood had a double-double for Monticello with 11 points and 10 rebounds. Rudolph added 14 points. The Redskins finished their season at 19-11 overall. Monticello improves to 15-14 and advances to a Wednesday night regional semifinal against Tolono Unity at Maroa-Forsyth High School. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. Hear the action on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Maroa-Forsyth blew away Shelbyville in an 83-31 Class 2A regional quarterfinal on Monday night in Maroa. The Trojans flew out to a 49-15 lead at the half. Cabron Lee scored 29 points to lead Maroa-Forsyth. Kobe Lane added 16 points, and Cannon Grubbs finished with 15 points. Aiden Hardy scored 10 points to lead Shelbyville. The Rams end their season 10-18 overall. The Trojans go to 20-8 overall. Maroa-Forsyth will take on Westville on Wednesday in Class 2A regional semifinal action at 7:30 p.m. Champaign St. Thomas More scored 31 first quarter points and never looked back, rolling to a 79-57 win in Class 1A regional quarterfinal action in Champaign on Monday night. Owen Yeager scored 23 points to lead all scorers for the Sabres, who led 31-12 after one quarter. Ben Rafato had 15 points and Rafael Dongo Kengu added 12 points. Jackson Finch and Isaiah Parks had 15 points apiece for the Bombers. Carter Logue added 8 points. The Bombers end the campaign at 9-22 overall. STM improves to 12-16. In high school boys basketball, regional quarterfinal scores from Monday night in Class 1A action. First-seeded Decatur Unity romped Blue Ridge, who was the 16 seed, 101-11, while 10th-seeded Heritage upset 7th-seed Arcola 61-28. 12th-seeded Meridian upset number 5 Oka Valley 76-58, while number 15-seeded Judah Christian fell to 2-seed Cerro Gordo Bement 68-27. 3-seed Ridgeview took down 14th-seeded Calvary Christian 68-29, while 8th-seeded Oakwood beat the 9th-seed Decatur St. Teresa 70-68. 11th-seeded Tri-Point fell to the 6th-seed Gibson City Melvin Sibley 54-38, while 5th-seeded Heyworth took down 12th-seeded Watseka 70-36. First-seeded Leroy rolled 6th-seeded Iroquois West 64-21, while the 6th-seed Central A&M took down 11th-seeded Neoga 59-43. Number 5 Mount Pulaski won over the 12th-seeded Fisher 55-43, while the 2-seed Tremont beat 15 Astoria 93-38. Top-seeded Tuscola rolled Martinsville at the 16th seed, 75-27, while top-seeded DMAC beat 16th-seeded Hartsburg-Emden, 75-31. 3-seed Cumberland took down the 4th-seeded Arthur Levington-Atwood-Hammond, 77-37. In Class 2A, 7-seed Auburn beat 10th-seeded Buffalo Tri-City, 56-34. While 7-seed Eureka took down the 10th-seeded Peoria Notre Dame 44-40. 9-seeded Tri-Valley upset 8-seed Peoria Christian 57-39, while the 7th-seed Pana took down 10th-seeded Paris 66-49. The 8th-seed Pleasant Plains beat 9th-seeded Pittsfield 48-39. Michael Conforto is looking to regain his form with the Chicago Cubs. Conforto has agreed to a minor league deal with the Cubs that includes an invitation to Major League camp for spring training. The outfielder is expected to compete for a reserve role. Conforto, who turns 33 on Sunday, struggled last season after agreeing to a $17 million one-year contract for the LA Dodgers. He hit a career-low 199 with 12 homers and 36 RBIs in 138 games for the World Series champions, who did not use him in the postseason. Conforto steps into a crowded picture when it comes to Chicago's reserve outfielders. Chas McCormick and Dylan Carlson, two more veterans, are also in camp on minor league deals. Kevin Alcantara, one of the team's top prospects, is another option, and Matthew Shaw is expected to see some time in the outfield as part of his super utility role. Ian Happ and Pete Crow Armstrong are everyday outfielders for the Cubs, and Seiya Suzuki will play right or serve as the designated hitter most of the time. Conforto bats from the left side, while McCormick, Alcantara, and Shaw are all right-handed hitters. Carlson is a switch hitter. Counsell said Conforto, being a lefty batter, factored in the team's decision to take a closer look. Conforto was selected by the New York Mets with the number 10 pick in the 2014 amateur draft. He made his big league debut the following year. He had a breakout season with New York in 2017, making the NL All-Star team while batting .279 with 27 homers and 68 RBIs. He set career highs with 33 homers and 92 RBIs for the Mets in 2019. After sitting out in 2022 while he recovered from a right shoulder injury, Conforto signed a $36 million two-year deal with San Francisco. He hit .237 with 20 homers and 66 RBIs in 2024 in his last year with the Giants. Conforto has a .245 batting average with 179 homers and 556 RBIs in 10 major league seasons of his career. The St. Louis Cardinals have signed infielder Ramón Urías to a $2 million one-year contract that includes a 2027 mutual option. He gets a $1.5 million salary this year, and the deal includes a $4 million mutual option with a $500,000 buyout. Urías can earn $2 million in performance bonuses for plate appearances as part of the deal announced Saturday, $125,000 for each 350 and 375, $200,000 apiece for 400 and 425, and $2,500,000 each for 450, 475, and 500, and $300,000 apiece for 525 and 550. The 31-year-old Urías played most of his career with the Baltimore Orioles before getting traded to the Houston Astros on July 31st. He hit .241 with 11 homers and 44 RBIs in 2025. Urías had his best season in 2022 when he hit 16 homers and won a Golden Glove at third base, his primary position. He also has experience at second base, shortstop, and first base. To make room for Urías on the roster, Baltimore designated right-hander Zach Kent for assignment. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer